We'll probably drop this on Friday the 13th while the actual thing is being dropped.
From the past.
We're speaking from the past to the future. Yes. Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Producer Dave.
And we're here to do a special presentation. This is a vlog that we actually taped.
Lazy vlog.
It's a lazy vlog, very lazy vlog. We basically did little updates on our phone, and then we're just going to be using stuff that we shot for the actual vlog. It is currently, as we record this, August 11th. And we just got back from shooting, or assisting to shoot, the Never Hike Alone music video. Disappear, yes. And this is something that is really cool that it even happened, honestly. And it happened because of some other things that are going on, and nonetheless, we got invited out by Vince himself. Yes, the man who plays Ghost Jason in Never Hike Alone decided to do a music video for the Friday, September 13th, kind of almost 2-year anniversary of the release of Never Hike Alone. And so we got to go out and help shoot this thing in Mormon Lake, Arizona. So it was pretty convenient for us, although there were some hiccups that we had along the way.
Yeah, it was, a typical production. It's all about the problems and creative problem solving and having fun.
We are currently on our way to the location. There was a little snafu where the north entrance was blocked, so we are cruising to the south entrance now, and we're gonna sneak a 4-car caravan in. Yeah, so we're going to be dropping in those little bits of the vlog throughout here, but we just wanted to give sort of our podcast / walkthrough kind of version of events.
Yeah.
So that'll also serve as the wrap up for the whole thing. So yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun with this. It was a, well pre-produced thing. They had a full shot list ready to go, an ambitious shot list. And they had pre-made signs that we assisted in putting up while they were set dressing, because it was a 2-day production. And the first day, they focused on the Jason at Camp Crystal Lake stuff, along with a little bit of victim stuff that night. And so, yeah, we got to put together the Camp Crystal Lake sign. Dave spent a lot of the time digging holes while I was drilling holes. So we were hole-making mother effers this first day. But we ended up making the signs look really good where they were. Dave got the positioning perfectly, and he actually dug into rock-infested grounds that was undiggable after a fashion. And then we got...
I have a lot of Minecraft experience, what can I say?
Yeah, he utilized that. He had his diamond pickaxe with him. But is that a thing? Okay, all right, cool.
That's why I laughed, because you got it right.
Okay, sweet. Right. So even though I said pickaxe kind of weirdly, nonetheless, we also had a cool map, a Camp Blood map that.
Okay, wait. Let me just kind of reset just for a half second.
By all means, cheers, indeed.
It's been a long weekend.
Cheers and thank you to Vince DiSanti for bringing us out.
First of all, if you haven't seen Never Hike Alone, is that online?
I'll drop a link in the description box down below.
It's on YouTube, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Has been for 2 years.
So Never Hike Alone. They're doing this music video. You guys have been in contact since we hung out at Mad Monster a little bit, provided a couch to sleep on, became quick friends. Obviously,
last year, yeah.
It's not hard when people are passionate about filmmaking to make friends with other passionate filmmakers.
True.
So that's how we got started in this, and then we went up on Friday night, and then Saturday morning. Did we do a little vlog clip, or did we wait till Saturday morning?
No, we did a vlog clip when we first arrived at the cabin, I think.
Yeah, did we?
Or when we first arrived to set. I don't know. You guys are gonna find out when we find out. So here we go. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Producer Dave.
And we are here in, undisclosed location. Well, actually, by the time you see this, I think we'll be able to say what it is. But we are here in Flagstaff, and we are here to help the behind the scenes of the Never Hike Alone music video.
There you go.
Yeah, so we're here to help out Vince DiSanti and Renee Rivas, and Sean Richards is here too. So a lot of people that we know.
And that guy with the thing and the mask and the...
Yep, he's going to be here too. So, Machete just saved a baby recently. But yeah, so guys, it's going to be fun. We'll try and get some vloggy goodness. We'll get some behind the scenes for the crew. I think that's largely what we're going to be doing, which is fine with us.
Yeah.
But you know, it's going to be fun getting to know
we
the
don't
crew
want
a little
any
bit more.
real responsibilities on set.
No. Not when it's not our production.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, we'll have some cool sights to show you, and I'll just get some random footage. This is shot on the phone, but we'll be going between phone and camera.
I think it's like 100 degrees in Phoenix right now.
Yeah, and dude,
I've got a sweatshirt on.
It's so beautiful
shirt.
right now. Oh my God! Last night it was so cold. Just driving up, the temperature difference is amazing. But
Arizona's a magical place.
It really, really is. So, all right, guys, stay tuned.
And then,
So yeah, we started working.
yeah, and you have access to the cabin up through your family.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a really convenient thing to have. And it was really close to the location.
Very close. Surprisingly so.
Right.
Because it was supposed to be, as far as I knew, it was being shot in and around Flagstaff, which Mormon Lake is 30 minutes outside of. But as I'm on my way up, I message Vinny and I'm like, "Hey, Vin, we're on our way, so just let us know where we should meet you guys in the morning." And he's like, "Send me the address of your cabin again." And I did, and he's like, "Oh well, we're gonna meet at 8 in Flagstaff. You can meet us at that place at the Mormon Lake Lodge at 9:45." And I was like, "Oh, we're that close. Okay, cool." So yeah, we literally were 5 minutes away from the meetup point, and then that location was 7 minutes from there, really. Yeah. But it was a really cool tucked back. Let's talk about this location. Forgive me for being crude, but the filmmaker in me was like just jizzing all over the place. I was like, "Oh, the shot there, the shot you could have there, the shot you could have there. Oh, we passed this run." Yeah, sorry. I'm flinging it everywhere. We passed this little rundown shed with a busted up truck that the front tires were flat. People had busted out the windows. Rundown cabins all over the place with busted out windows and unsafe, places that we avoided. We avoided the unsafe stuff. But mostly.
No. Anyway,
we avoided the unsafe stuff, Dave.
Yeah.
We avoided the unsafe stuff.
There's this thing in independent filmmaking when you can find a location that you don't have to dress much. Mm-hmm. Like, it's basically exactly how you want it, and you don't have to do much to it other than maybe, like we did, add some signage to sell the illusion, add a little bit of, you move stuff around a little bit to make it work for how you want it to work. Mm-hmm. When people abandon stuff, they leave everything, like random stuff behind. And so you can go around to all the different buildings and collect all the things that you need rather than like truck them in, because that's the hardest part about this.
That's how I found all the push pins, was off of bulletin boards that were existing. And I had to kick up some push pins that had fallen off the bulletin board on the ground. Not only that though, but I put on my Sherlock Holmes hat for a minute when I was looking for those signs that I ended up finding, the big neon sign that we ended up not using. But off on the wall, I was like trying to identify how long has this place been abandoned, and one of the buildings we were shooting in was a arts and crafts room. This was a summer camp. Clearly this was a summer camp. And one of the rooms one of the cabins was dedicated strictly to arts and crafts. So you'd walk in and there was two table slabs facing each other with like a tiny little thing there, so
cubbies.
People could work. Yeah, little cubbies, so people could work facing each other. And then there were desks in a horseshoe shape lining the rest of the cabin that were, multicolored, like it would built-in desks. Yeah. And there were still some arts and crafts left around and stuff like that. And I saw on the wall near the ceiling, it was like 2001 craft day.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, so this thing's been here for 18 years unused at this point.
Yeah, it's been abandoned for that long.
Yeah.
So
what a great location, though,
yeah,
as you can see.
that's the thing. Like, when you can get those things, like, it makes... You don't really see it until you look through the lens of the camera. Like, the dilapidation.
Mm-hmm. You got it.
That is really hard to recreate authentically.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's...
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can do it, but it's at great expense.
True.
It actually costs a lot of money to make stuff look old.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot easier, well, sometimes, to just
find a location.
something that's
Right. old.
And obviously it's usually more dangerous. And so, but I would say that this location was perfect for Jason, perfect for Camp Crystal Lake,
Mm-hmm.
perfect for what we needed it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it would have been nice if it would have had power and bathrooms or whatever, but you make do.
Yeah.
It's one night, one day,
And it was close enough to places that we could drive people.
Yeah,
I mean,
15 minutes to the
No,
bathroom.
it was only 7 minutes to the lodge. So, yeah. So the location was amazing, you guys. Straight up amazing. And this is a location that actually Renee and Vince had found in the last part of the location scouts for the original Never Hike Alone shoot. But they found it so late in the game they couldn't relocate it at
Right.
that point. They had already been prepping this other location. If I recall the story correctly, they might correct, and if so, they can do so in the comments down below.
Sorry.
No,
That was funny.
I'm a YouTuber, motherfucker.
Yeah, if you want to correct me, do it in the fucking comments.
Yeah, come on.
Don't send me a text.
Well, no, so everyone that watches the video can see the correction. Is the point?
I know.
I'm being a showrunner, man. How dare you? No, but what was I even saying?
Let's go to the clip.
Alright guys, thank you everybody for being here. This is the Disappear Shoot for Never Hike Alone. We're going to do a quick safety meeting, and then we're also going to do a walkthrough of where we're shooting, what we're shooting, and basically we're going to break off into teams, and I'm going to assign you just different projects. What is the name of this camper name?
Camp Mardeer.
Wrong. This is Camp motherfucking Crystal Lake. We're about to take it over and turn it into that. And yeah, so I mean, Renee found this place when we were scouting for Never Hike Alone 1. And it was too late in the process to try and figure out to do anything with it. But we've been scouting it for like 2 years, and we came out here like maybe a month ago when we went to Mad Monster and figured out this music video. It's pretty simple. I don't know if you guys have listened to the music, but a lot of the stuff that we're doing is like slow motion, slow movement. It's a slow song. It's really creepy. It's all about Jason living in the camp alone. People come and disturb the camp. He kills them, stores them away, goes back to his daily life, and that's basically what we're covering here. We're covering today 3 major scenes and then a 4th with just interstitial stuff. The first scene is going to be in a cabin over here that's Jason's bedroom. It's going to be Jason just sitting there being lonely. Here's the kids pull up, grabs his sickle and walks out. That should be pretty quick. We're going to do Nora and I are going to be on team Dress That Cabin. So we'll be working on that for most of the morning into the early afternoon. Then we have a scene over here with Sean's Jeep where I'm going to come out of that red cabin doubling. It's basically like we're cheating the cabin. So we're going to double up the red cabin over here. I'm going to come out. I'm going to see the Jeep. I'm going to walk over to it. The kids aren't there. I'm going to look off screen and walk off screen. And that's going to take us to our water stuff. That's tomorrow. 2 water scenes down there, and then when we come back there are scenes where there are 2 other scenes kind of walking around the camp. One is I'll take Robert, one of our victims, I'll probably walk him up this road, long shot. We'll walk him over this bridge over here, all exteriors, so don't really need to worry about set dressing too much. And then we finish the day where we started it back in the bedroom. This is going to be a night scene, so we'll have the generator set up, we'll have lights set up, we'll eat dinner before, we'll basically set up lights, eat dinner, and then shoot once the lights go down. Again, it's not too complicated shot-wise. We're covering our dead bodies, we're covering Jason, and then we're doing the final shot, which is a push-in on Pamela's head. And that's basically it. What we're going to work on is for like the opening scene, which is like the first part of the music video is like a minute of just instrumental guitar. And so through that, we're going to do establishing of the camp. So we're going to do just master shots of the camps. But what we're building is signage and propage, so all over the place. So what we're going to concentrate on is some stuff that I'll get to in a little bit. But let's go for a walk, and I'll show you where all the cabins are, so you guys have a layout of the land, and we'll walk this way.
So obviously the natural transition from that clip is to start talking about the next step of the process, which was the actual pre-production and what I was talking about, which was the sign building. So they were dressing the set, which in this this location, that actual arts and crafts room that I was talking about actually had an upstairs that was an unbelievable place that they decided to make Jason's bedroom, Jason's lair.
Sadly believable that it was a place of torture. I mean, it was freaky.
It was really. It was an attic.
Can we use a clip of the music video?
Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, I think so.
All right, so
we can use a clip of the behind the scenes I shot.
All right, well there you go.
Yeah.
So clip of the attic.
You'll see how awesome it was because they chose the perfect time of day to shoot because the attic was such that there were slats, like little spaces all through the roof that had lost their connective tissue.
Right.
And so as the sunbeams came through with the fog machine, it looked so amazing with Jason just sitting there on one of the 2 single beds with Jason's mom's head, enshrined next to him. And I was like, dude, I'm too heavy. He's like, just stay on the stairs. Stay on the second to the top step. And I was like, okay. And I went up and I kind of wedged my big body through the tiny little staircase. And I got up there and I saw the light coming through, and Vinny sitting. I saw it through the monitor. I saw. It was really a great setup, right? So it's Renee
with the triangle
on one side of the camera and Ben on this side of the camera. Ben's doing the operating. Renee is looking through the viewfinder, and then Sean Richards is here monitoring the fog machine, and he's just sitting there, and it's like it answers the question, what does Jason do in between the movies? He literally just sits on the bed and waits for another victim. It's such a great freaking idea. Like, honestly, even you is not as big a horror fan as me. Like, it's such a cool idea.
I love the idea of that Jason's just like sitting there going, lonely, I'm so lonely.
Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Nobody knows that sorrow, but they do. It was an amazing location, amazing idea. Really, and the music video is very straightforward. It's Jason sitting there at Camp Crystal Lake. Some hapless teenagers drive up on the site in the replica Jeep, right from the first Friday the 13th, which is awesome, provided by Sean Richards. Good friend of the show. Actually, Sean Richards was in one of the very first horror artist interviews that we did with Kevin Phipps when they were promoting the Friday the 13th Part 3 in memoriam documentary that they were working on. And Sean Richards, Sean Richards played Jason. That's why it was funny that I wanted to actually, if I had time, touch base with him and ask him, what's it like working on a little Jason short film when, you were Jason in another
I helped him change the license plate on his Jeep.
Did you film that too? Nice. All right, sweet. I'm like all surprised. Hey, coverage.
That's another really cool thing about this production that we were a part of, is that a lot of people were really passionate about bringing the authenticity to it, and that's why the location, and then also the car, the hero car of the. I mean, I know it's only in it for a couple shots, but still,
but they really made it sing with those shots.
And that's
how can we really feature this thing?
Yeah, and it was really cool, and Sean was awesome,
and jibs for the win. Like, if we could only have one piece of exterior camera equipment.
I mean, I'm preaching to the choir at this point, right?
Jib shots. Jib shots. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, we both went reaching.
About what?
Your process of the dig. Like, how did you end up getting through? Did you just keep going with the shovels, or did you end up having to chisel stuff out?
If you want to know how to dig a hole, there's plenty of YouTube
I'm just saying, what did you do to get through all that rock?
You fucking dig with your hands if you have to.
Yeah,
you pull the fucking rocks out, and you dig it deep enough that when you put the posts in, and actually what we did, here's the key thing.
See, there is a story here, motherfucker.
Right, you're right. It took me a second to get to it. But what I did was I had a measuring tape, and I measured the width of the sign. And we figured out kind of roughly, it was like 120 centimeters between where the posts were going to be. So I dug the centers of the holes at 120 centimeters, and then we eyed it. Like, we didn't actually just measure it.
We did eyeball it.
We just eyeballed it, and the way it kind of, like, went into the hole, it was snug. And then we just used rocks and...
Yeah, we used rocks,
some
big
trees.
rocks from
Easy peasy.
around.
And
And
then...
you dragged a
you
whole
put the signs
couple of
together,
dead
man.
tree. Yeah. Well, I put those together, and well, you helped me with the main sign, but the other one was a cool setup because it was 4 individual signs. Like, it was one of those things. Again, cut to the clip. There has to be one, right?
yeah.
I hope. Okay.
Whew. Okay, guys. So we've been working hard on our side of the
Our contribution.
our contribution here, which is that
Free
right
labor.
there.
Free labor.
Free labor indeed. So we they made the Crystal Lake sign. We had to put it up and kind of dress it and
Is it
make
going to
it
be
look
reversed?
good. No. If so, whatever. We'll figure it out. And then we also did this right here. Boom. Got that bad boy set up. Attached it to the bench. So it looks good. Whew. Manual labor time. Time for a water break.
So these 4 individual
They're not going
signs.
to be seeing us.
They
It's
just
all B-roll.
Yeah, right. They just they put them on the ground and they were like, okay, we need you. And Vinny was like, all right, this is what I'm going to put you on, which is great because I've done that kind of thing before. I've worked maintenance for 4 years, and then, I know I lean on that so much because I learned a lot doing it as far as home improvement and actual projects go. And then I worked installing alarms for a year and a half too, so I learned a lot doing that as well. So I basically was able to... What was I talking about?
Get the signs, the 4
Right.
signs all lined
So,
up. On
so
the
what
fucking
we wanted to make it
posts.
look like, though, I didn't want it to make it look perfect. And so I was like, do you want each of these signs like a little askew or whatever? And he's like, well, no, because it's, it's years later, but it's not like they put it on wrong. They would have put it on right. So how would it... So I was like, okay, cool. So what I'll do is I'll put them all on with the posts at an even slant, and then I'll only use 1 screw in each, and you can technically wobble it either way and make it lean one way or another. When I did so, I was stuck using actually the fence that we ended up pushing over and knocking down when we were making our first base camp.
Yeah.
I ended up pulling 2 of the 2x4s off that to make the sign, and one of them was a good deal longer than the other. So when I first hoisted it up and brought it down, when it was all put together, it was extremely akimbo, right?
Cockeyed.
Yeah, it was very cockeyed. You'd have to be at like this angle to actually read them correctly. I was like, it wasn't terrible, and we were already devising solutions. We'll put a rock under it, whatever. Vinny comes over, being another, like, we're of a similar ilk. There's certain independent filmmakers, that just
every
you
job,
especially
you make it work.
Not just that, no, but there's a certain level of indie filmmaking that necessitates a degree of ingenuity.
Yeah.
And you are a fucking problem solver on set, dude. Like, Vinny even said, we have the jib, but there might be a couple of pieces missing. And Dave put the whole goddamn thing together.
I wasn't even going to talk about this.
Oh my god, it was so huge, dude. So there were 2 big things. Like, there were connective screws that needed bolts in order to actually make the jib solid, the long jib arm that you could counterbalance with the weights and control and everything.
The
And
kit
he was
missing a bolt.
2 bolts, 2 nuts and 2 bolts, right?
It was missing 1 bolt and a nut, and then a nut for the other bolt.
Okay. Nonetheless,
So what I said was, I'll just take 2 screws, and I'll use a little piece of wood that I got off the ground, and I'll use that as the nut, and I'll use the screw,
and he literally just...
and then we just gaffed it.
Yep. And he
Duct
duct
tape
tape around the actual pieces of wood, and my god, if this jib didn't work fucking brilliantly. And again, another thing, we were given a long Camp Crystal Lake sign, which you can see the behind the scenes shot. I did take of that. Actually, we were tasked with hanging it.
The shot that they got of the Camp Crystal Lake little sign, they weren't planning on getting that, but because we had the jib in transition. So one of the things that I pride myself on is like looking ahead, and it comes
Very
from
much
what
so.
I do in my job, where I'm looking ahead to the next day, or I'm looking ahead to the next hour.
What can we do in the downtime?
What can I do in my downtime to prepare myself for what's coming next? Because like a lot of times what'll happen in filmmaking is we'll get done with the scene and then it's like, boom, we're done. There's a lot of activity. And if you have, it's kind of like prepping your workstations, where it's like your locations that you're going to move to. If you have all your stuff, like if you pre-run your chords, if you pre-build your jib, which was what my suggestion was while I had a little bit of downtime with the BTS. They were doing some lighting. They were waiting for the sun to just get to the right. I'm like, hey, you guys are going to use the jib, right? Let me go build it, And so
Vince was like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, and because there were missing pieces. So my point being that in independent filmmaking, that's one of the things you have to do is try to stay as proactive as possible.
Think on your feet.
And that's one of the things
ahead.
that I think that everybody on this set was doing a really good job of. But
This was although I gotta say, we've both been on sets where there are what you could possibly consider superfluous crew. There was no one superfluous. Everyone was doing something on this set.
Look, if you have superfluous crew, great.
Including
because
the
that means
makeup artist, Nora.
Everybody's good.
Nora, a very acclaimed makeup artist, Nora Hewitt, who had actually won season 9 of Face Off, y'all. Yeah. And who is now a good friend of the show with good reason. Ding.
Well, it's been a month.
It's been a month, but it's still a month away from our announcement.
I'm trying to figure out the time.
It's a month away from our announcement.
It's still a month away from our announcement.
Still a month away from our announcement.
God, you poor bastards. You poor bastards.
I know. It's okay. It's okay. They'll get there.
Come on, you damn fogger. Mother fogger. Mother fogger.
I think we all thought it.
Are you clicking it? Good?
Yeah, swapped it.
3 fat wasps in clear frame, please. Thank you. Stand by for 15 while it clears a little bit.
That's looking nice.
Yeah, let's get some dusties.
Camera speeds.
All right.
Good.
And
Wait, I want to find a place for my head to go.
no, so go back a little bit. Right there, right there.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, right in the middle of the triangle behind you. And action. Car.
Standing.
Cut. We got some good ones.
Vince is over there directing the scene while he's being Jason, and it's what was really awesome is what they discovered naturally about the location is all of the gross tiles and stuff, the ceiling particles that had fallen through the sunlights with the fog. If you pick, if Vince in his Ghost Jason makeup picked up this material, this detritus from the rooftop of the cabin and just threw it at the roof, it would send these golden like sand things down around him. And they shot that dude, and you can see this cascade of golden dust coming down while Jason's just sitting there. Dude, the to quote Dave McRae, the mood and the atmosphere that they made out of this, attic space that they then reused, which I didn't get to see, but they reused it that night in a different fashion.
Yeah.
But we can get there.
Well, let me just say this as far as.
But I thank you for coming to get me because that's something that I needed.
I
to
was
see.
like, why am I doing this?
It was one of the best shots that they had. So many really cool shots.
I just didn't appreciate it like you would appreciate it,
and I did very much.
Because I
so.
appreciated it from the independent.
I filmed it so many ways with our camera. Like the actual amount of time I filmed it was probably a good 7-8 minutes, which is a lot in a behind the scenes when you're only going to use like 30 seconds of it. But I was so enthralled, and they kept doing it again, and I was getting different angles. And actually, Renee wanted me to use his camera, so I was using his camera for a bit of it. Yeah. So it's split between the two cameras.
I will say this: there is something to the aspect that Jason is this supernatural character that we've all grown up with, but some people are just discovering.
Right.
I love the idea that maybe Never Hike Alone and this music video are their introduction to Jason, and that there are these certain things that they never really had in the originals of the sort of the beyond production value with the high definition and the really cool lighting effects and the really cool I wouldn't say it's cool production design. I would say it's authentic set, like an authentic abandoned camp that exists in the woods. This is literally where Jason would be.
And you have all that B-roll that you went and took when we were talking to drop in right during all of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
This is literally...
So excited.
Like, this is where Jason would be 18 years after the camp finally shut down. After 20 years...
Just sitting there, just waiting for people like, stay away from my home.
Well...
He's like a little bit like Doug the dog.
Well,
like, squirrel!
And the mom's head... The mom's head's right there.
Yeah.
So maybe
Mrs. Voorhees.
You know, she's keeping an eye on him, whatever.
Shout out to the prop maker that made that. I wish I had that information to give you all, but I do not. So that is that going to bring? When was our second update? The beginning of day 2?
So no, we did we
Did we do an end of day 1 update?
I don't think we did an end of day 1 update, but we were tired.
Yeah. Day 1 was long. Well, let's we haven't even finished. Okay, so that was the first setup. They did that cabin. Before everything, actually, Vinny was a great, director, and he was both the director and the first AD, which he actually said at one point to me, because I was shooting behind the scenes, and it was when he was in the cabin with the bunk beds, and he was sitting in front of it, and he's like, I'm both the director and the AD, so that's why I'm kind of an asshole on this shoot. And so, go a foot this way. We're like, okay, cool. We move it a foot that way. And then, like, no progress for like 10, 15 minutes. And then they're like, move it 4 inches back. We're like, oh, we overshot by 8 inches the first time. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, but we literally, that's set life. That's set life.
Filmmaking. In its
and
essence.
Again, it's what you actually said to the actors. Yeah. It's so funny because Dave has a decade's worth of film experience at this point, or more. But he's like, yeah, the actor's job and why they get paid so well is because they're paid to sit there and wait until it's their turn.
Well, and they're paid to put up with a lot of bullshit.
They're paid to put up with the bullshit.
Cold,
keep themselves
hungry.
fresh and ready to go for when they're finally it's their turn. You know what I mean? But it's so fun. Like, again, being on weekends like this is so rejuvenating for the creative side of me. It's the same as religious people that go to church to fill their gas tank. Like, this kind of thing fills my creative gas tank when I get to do that.
Action.
And that led into the shots around the Jeep. And so that's where we have some clips from that where they were having
and so basically because we had
Jason
the
sees a fresh Jeep that is just parked. No kids are there, but he goes and he storms down to the Jeep and we got some cool shots. We got a rear view mirror shot. We got a jib shot starting low, showing his feet walking towards and raising up. Again, hero shot of the Jeep with Jason approaching the same Jeep from the first movie, which he wasn't even in the first movie. So it's a clever tie together. But nonetheless, we got those cool shots, and Renee is really big on the dolly track, like the which is awesome because we discovered that too. We were just using the jib to do it on Sweet, I was using the dolly track for almost
Fuck
all
the dolly track. Just go jib, man.
Well,
Unless you really need just like a really long or whatever. I like the lightweight aluminum tube. Put it up on tripods. Put it up on Apple boxes. I love this new dolly track with the new skateboard dolly. You put your digital camera right on it. I mean, I learned how to use. Now I'm gonna forget the name of it. The Fisher dolly. Okay, you can't buy a Fisher dolly because then you would own a Fisher dolly. You can only rent them because they're like, no, these are Fisher dollies. And they've got these pneumatics and hydraulics, and it's like all so smooth. And like literally, you can go fast or you can go slow.
Ooh, I want one.
Yeah, because it's super heavy and it's fucking. It's what you need for a 35-pound, 35mm camera. But nowadays, cameras are 8 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds. The Red is, I think,
Say
whatever.
12 pound.
Yeah, whatever. You don't need that huge system anymore, and I love how fast it can be because a Fisher dolly is 3 or 4 guys picking it up. I mean, it's. And that's one of the
it was
things
still fun to see
I
it
loved
all
talking
done.
with this new generation of actors and filmmakers because that's one of the things that digital filmmaking has allowed is you don't need 15 people to run your camera anymore.
So I want to talk about the crew for a minute, though, because I think this movie really, or this video shoot, really boiled down the amount of crew that you need. Like, and here's the ironic thing. Guess how many crew members we had total? 13.
Does that include us?
Yeah, including us.
So
There were
we're crew
13.
members, yeah,
It's a
okay.
Friday the 13th fan film. There were 13 crew members. How much more perfect could you get than that? But it was, a varying, number of, or a varying experience level for each of the crew members. You had, of course, Vinny, who's been doing stuff
Well,
for
I feel
years.
like all the crew is very experienced, and that
A lot
it
of
was
them
the
were,
actors
but
who were-
Garrett was relatively new.
Yeah.
He was a workhorse, man. Garrett was awesome, and he was an
one of
actor
the
as
actors.
well.
Yeah, well, that's why.
Yeah, well, but he didn't have to. A lot of, not even all the actors on this
Look,
one were as much of a workhorse as
If you're
Garrett
an actor
was.
and you get hired on an independent film, get prepared to carry some sandbags. That's all
Yeah,
I'm saying.
fair enough.
That's all I'm saying.
And Garrett, luckily he was
Dude,
built for it.
Yeah, dude, he fucking kicked. Like literally everybody.
Everyone on this
that is
shoot
one of the
was
things that,
so great.
It's not rare to find, but it's one of those things that it's going to be great when everybody's working well together.
And it's something you want to repeat. Like, it's everyone that acts the way they acted on this shoot would continue getting work.
Yeah.
Because, they don't cause waves or cause trouble. Even if there's disagreement, they resolve it. They shoot it both ways, whatever it is, whoever it ends up being, everyone still fulfills a purpose. There was no dead weight on this shoot.
Yeah.
And that's what makes for the best shoot. So first was Ben, and Ben was just big goatee. So he just had a giant bushy goatee. So that's what I labeled him. There was Garrett, who was the ginger without glasses. And then there was Kyle, who was the ginger with glasses. And then there was Brian, who was the thin, dark-haired and beard with the big white truck. Who we found out through the weekend. Those were the only notes I made. Everyone, it was pretty sparse otherwise, and I could remember names. But Brian was a total surprise, and he was in on a couple of emails recently with me, and he was a total awesome dude. He was like one of those genuine, like someone that going forward, if I had a set and I had the expendable income to bring in LA crew, I would absolutely bring Brian in, because Brian was a star. Not only was he a workhorse, not only was he a communicator, but he was so grateful and everything. He made everyone feel good with all of their input and assistance and everything.
Yeah.
He is just a
Stop giving Californians such a bad rap.
dude, for real.
They're nice.
He is a shining example. He is a set cheerleader / workhorse, which is fucking amazing. So he straight up impressed the hell out of me. Kyle was fun too. He was largely sent on driving runs that first day, so he missed about 6 hours.
Well, and I was
worth
going
of
to say, once
production,
you
poor
didn't
guy.
start talking about the crew, I was going to say that
I wanted to get into the crew. Yeah,
I got to hand it to Vince for
assembling such a crew.
well, not just leading a project, but also doing the the latex, wearing the latex suit
Oh, that cowl.
is uncomfortable, to say the least.
He wore Ghost Jason for probably 85% of the entire shoot,
Yeah, I mean,
which is not easy. And you can see the behind-the-scenes shots to prove it. Because there's literally times where he's in his full Ghost Jason gear, behind the camera, looking, directing, and doing stuff. Like,
that Jeff Goldblum shot. I hope we get access to it, because I'd like to put it right
of
here.
course.
Because I took that picture.
Yeah. My picture was him giving a thumbs up, but then he leaned in such a way that he looked like Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park.
But,
And we got some really cool stuff. Like, did you see when I was getting these shots? Oh, I got some really cool shots of the
I
Ghost.
like that.
Yeah,
a
the Ghost
lot,
Jason
dude.
mask. And, dude, check this out.
Like, not just as just
Look at-
working on this for the week. That's a great Jason.
That's gonna do less than what
I got it in 3 different positions around here. I'll show you on
Don't
the
worry,
on the
we'll
footage.
show you.
Yeah, we'll show you. So the Jason mask in 3 different positions in the water, and you can
fucking
cut to
love
all of
that.
them. Yeah, I kept moving it a little bit just to. I put it where the bottom half was sort of underwater and the water was coming in through the holes, and then I got it where it
You
was
got to
just.
remember the 2/3 rule. God damn it.
No, well you can cut to the 2/3 if you need to. I do sometimes, most times.
Don't depend on fixing it in post. I got real close to the awning.
But look at this. Look at it. Look at how good that is. Like, got some great BTS. Even producer Dave is on the. Well, I don't need to show. You can actually
Yeah,
show the footage.
Yeah.
But BTS of making the wounds. But this is from today. So
Honestly, that was the big thing that I wanted to do this weekend was help Nora.
yeah,
Like
and
I
you got to too.
That was
awesome.
my big thing. I was like, oh wait, I might actually be able to help.
In fact, we
Yeah.
took her on a run
Yeah.
to the restroom on day 1, and that's where okay, so I'm very methodical. I'm very methodical when I can help it. And so we ended up needing to, while Kyle and a couple of other people were on a big run to Walmart to get the craft services and everything on day 1.
It's fine.
Halfway
We'll
through
get
day
it
1.
on the day.
Yeah, we'll get it on
do
the
it
day.
on the day. It's fine.
So we ended up needing to go in because Dave ran out of ice. And when Dave runs out of ice, this is a bad
This is
thing.
embarrassing.
This
Why
is
are
a
you telling this
bad
story?
thing. So
That's when the riots start. Look at Hong Kong. They denied Dave ice for 4 days. And now it's democracy.
yeah,
China?
never deny Dave ice. Everything
Diet
will
Coke.
just stop. So I took him into town. And when I did, Nora, I was like, "Hey guys, we're going into town to get Dave Ice." And Nora
Well,
was
literally,
like, "You're
time
leaving?"
out.
She was
They
like,
were
she was
waiting
again
for
like,
the
"Ooh,
sun.
ooh."
They were technically waiting
True,
for the sun.
true.
So we had some
Yeah, it
fun.
was a cloudy day. So we drove into town and we got to know Nora a little bit more, and then we came back out to set, and it was just such a fun deal. And it was starting to get dark though,
Yeah.
and we got all of the shots of Jason himself in Camp Crystal Lake done, outside of a couple of body carrying shots, which were taken care of elsewhere.
Right.
But then we got the shots of the signs, and then we were basically out of daylight, so they went to shooting the nighttime scenes in Jason's lair.
Right.
But about an hour and a half to 2 hours was spent on figuring out how to light it.
Yeah.
Because they did not have a moon balloon or anything the such, so they ended up rigging up, what did you call it, an alien? You called it some sort of, because they rigged
Well, they
up
called it
this...
a Frankenstein, which is an appropriate term. It's what we call it when you just rig something together that's not supposed to go together.
Mm-hmm.
Like you take.
It was a C stand with multiple
Quasars
knuckles and quasars like clamped to it, and then
There's actually, I think there's.
I
gonna
got
be
footage of it. I got shots
some
of it.
B-roll right
Yep,
here,
Yep.
where you can see they took these long halogen. They took these long
Halogen bulbs.
whatever they are, they're LEDs. No, they're LEDs.
LEDs.
Excuse me.
Oop.
They took these long LED and they put them up on knuckles, on extensions, and they made it so that it would simulate the sunlight, or like dusk light,
Or moonlight even.
or moonlight. And then we put them up on long stands, and it was really cool. Mm-hmm. It was really cool. I mean, you got to do it somehow. You got to light it
Long
somehow.
stands, and my job for a lot of that night was standing,
Yeah, safety.
sitting next to the.
Cecil's a safety
Yeah,
officer.
I was a safety officer that night because they had 2 Jennies going to power both of the lighting setups, and they're like, just stay nearby in case it catches fire.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
Yeah, I can do that.
sure. So I'm like watching YouTube videos and like just like on the swivel, head on the swivel the whole time.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, we need to move it a foot this way. Oh no, jinx, we need to move it 4 inches back
4
this
inches
way.
back,
You know.
yeah.
But we messed around with that and we got it done. And so, but unfortunately, all of that walking, being still a fatter man than I'd like to be by about 100 pounds, I get what you might call chafing in the nether region, in thigh. Like I basically, the skin in my inner thighs gets rubbed completely raw if I'm walking around in jeans for more than 12 to 13 hours in nature. So that's what ended up happening, and it was extraordinarily painful for me to even take steps in any way other than looking like a cowboy that didn't know how to walk, as if he didn't have a saddle.
I just
between
rode
his legs.
28 hours.
Yeah, and just like dun, 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 like that's
Well, look,
all you can do.
The other thing you got to understand is most people aren't used to rough terrain. Like even when you go hiking, there's a trail.
And this was rocky terrain.
Rough terrain it's taxing on your body, and everything was rough terrain here. Yeah, there were some roads, but even the roads were rough terrain.
So that brings us to day 2,
The end
which
of
is
day 1.
Yeah, that was the end of day 1, which that's going to lead us to this update, I believe, at the beginning of day 2.
All right, back for day 2 of this little behind-the-scenes vlog, and we are out here shooting the lake of Camp Crystal Lake. So we're all in preparation mode, and we're gonna get to shooting in a little while.
Already had some hardships this morning.
Yeah.
Changed a tire.
Indeed, we got a flat, of course. Considering how rough the terrain was that we were going on all day yesterday, somehow it was the hour drive to and from Flagstaff that popped our tire. not the actual hard terrain, but
Whatever. I think it was the last.
it probably was a little
the last
pothole.
pothole,
Yeah. So, all right, back to it.
Now, day 2 was the lake day.
Yeah.
But it started a bit rough for us.
Yeah.
Because we got the car ready to go.
Yeah.
And we started driving down the road to exit the cabin area. And I was like, this car feels akimbo. It feels a little askew
A
right
little
now.
cockeyed.
A little
if you will.
cockeyed, if you
yes,
will.
I got it in twice. Yeah. So we
And
had a
I was
flat
like,
tire.
it feels weird.
Pick.
And I looked, and yeah, my front driver's side tire was completely flat. And we were already just a scotch behind. But, you know, we still got there well before they were, you know, really shooting anything anyway. But nonetheless, we ended up
Not
having
that I'm
to...
saying you should be an hour late to every film set, but...
We ended up successfully being men and changing the tire in a tag team format. Dave
what he said.
led the way, but I turned the screws. But I unscrewed the nuts.
Tighten them.
I tightened them.
Yeah, you got them tightened. You got them unloosed.
I loosened and tightened bolts. That's what I did. Dave did. Well, I raised
Whatever,
the car a
it's
little
just-
bit
who
too while
cares?
you were
Nobody
going
cares.
to pee or
Nobody
something. But nonetheless, I'm trying to say I'm kind of man too, man. Jeez. Thanks for taking it away from me. But nonetheless, we throw the spare on, and I call them, and I'm like, hey, guys, look, if we have to go up a road the same like we did yesterday for today, then we'll probably have to be shuttled up from the main road because we can't risk the only tire that I have left, which is only a spare anyway.
Yeah.
And so no, it's just off the road.
A donut, not a spare.
It was
Let's
a
call
donut.
It a donut.
Yeah.
It's a donut.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't a full spare. But so it was just a pull off on the side of the highway, a little dirt pull off that has a couple of
was
paths.
that location gorgeous? Again,
Unbelievable.
beautiful location. Mm-hmm. You know,
Well scouted.
$1 billion location. That's what I
well
call
scouted.
It. I call them $1 billion location.
But yeah, we set up camp, and this is where Jason, having noticed the kids from the Jeep that we saw and filmed everything around on day 1 at the abandoned Crystal Lake camp. So he goes to the lake at this point, and this is where all of this stuff happens. They're already playing in the lake, and Jason pops up from behind one of them while they're playing frisbee and, stabs a sickle in his back.
Hey, then your strap. Push it toward you. There you go. All right.
Here we go. Andre.
he, storms towards the girl that he's playing frisbee with, drowns her. While he's drowning her, a third friend comes up with beers. Jason sees him, pulls the sickle out of the one that's already dead, and throws it and impales the dude through the back of the neck and kills him. And then Jason totes the bodies off. End of music video. And we had to shoot all of that stuff today.
I really like this location. I think that Arizona offers
amazing
such diversity in its landscapes that you can kind of simulate anywhere in Arizona. Like wherever you go, you can find a place that looks like Illinois or back east, like New York. Like this is supposed to take place in New York, right? The Water's Edge stuff, when you put an actor in makeup in a latex suit and then other actors in water, it's all fucking challenging. Like, people have no idea how fucking annoying it is that there's a fucking sharp rock, and they gotta fucking
multiple sharp rocks to navigate that you can't see because the water's so murky.
That we have to hike down this 100-yard hill down to the bottom carrying all this gear
and back up and back down and back up and back down.
So it's a strenuous, it's difficult, and when you see how cool it looks when Jason pops out of the water.
You guys ready? Yeah. Speeding.
There's a hole in the wall. Oh, this is actually gonna make it way easier. Okay, going under. And 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. That was a good one. Yeah. Have you seen the replay?
You really make it. You're like, it's worth
it's all
your
worth
time.
it. Yeah, it's all fucking
for sure.
worth it.
And even
it's worth the sunburn.
honestly, doing the behind the scenes was so much fun.
Yeah.
And especially today, because my lens, that beast of a lens, grab that camera real quick. This beast of a lens, it's got something attached to it. This lens is incredible. It's an 18 to 105. No, 18 to 105 focal length. They were like, okay, so they're going to be throwing a frisbee back and forth, and they threw a frisbee at Vin, but the wind caught it. And so Vin's out there in full Jason garb, and he starts swimming to the frisbee, and I just position myself, and I'm taking pictures, and I just hold this shot as he pops up and grabs the frisbee, and then he just tosses it as I snap the picture. And I got this amazing picture of Jason throwing a frisbee, and it's from the water, and it's one of my crowning achievements.
Well, for the most part, I feel like that second day was it's weird because when you're making a water thing, it's so much. It just adds more difficulty. The camera has to be near the water. They got to have protection for the camera.
They gotta have footing underneath the water.
Footing, just everything that's required. The super nice people of Flagstaff who are driving to and fro in their boats and jet skis
in the background.
Like, hey, you guys are shooting a mayonnaise commercial. We want to check that out. To be honest, if
some of that would have been
you
free
and
production.
I
We would have used it as production value
and seen Jason popping out of the lake.
We would have investigated too. Yeah, we would have investigated
what's
too.
Going on over there?
Yeah.
What are they doing with Jason? He's killing people.
Yep, for sure.
And a girl in her bikini top. Yeah, we would have checked it out.
Screaming bloody murder,
for
no
sure.
less. Screaming
for
bloody
sure.
murder. Who didn't think she had a scream, no less.
Yeah.
Right over Renee's head, not right or left. She's got to come right over the top, center frame. Ready? Action. Look. Jason. Scream. Stop. Cut. Good. Very movie. You said you don't have a good scream. That's great.
No, I did.
Awesome. That was a great scream.
All right, let's reset.
Allie, don't go back as far. Just a little, like cheat it. Just like a little bit back. Don't fall back as far.
Scream was
Who's excited to die today?
He already died.
Did you already die?
He's got headphones in, so he's passed away already.
Who are you and what are you doing today?
I am Allie Stewart, and today I'm going to be drowned by Jason, and I'm going to watch my boyfriend die. This is the third wheel. He's a little sleepy right now, so he's getting
Very
some
cool.
relaxation in.
What do you guys think of the location?
It's very pretty. It looks like the movies.
She was super sweet.
Yeah, she was
First
awesome.
thing she's ever done.
She was really cool.
And I told her, I said, you did the hardest thing that you'll ever do. On location, shoot, independent film. Gonna be the hardest thing.
Uncontrolled conditions,
Yeah.
you know, in an actual lake and stuff like that. But it was really cool. So you
So
saw
much fun.
Jason pop out and attack someone with a sickle. You saw him drown someone.
He takes out three people.
Takes out three
without
people
taking
in
a step.
rapid succession. But not only that, but the way they decided to film him drowning the woman, which was using a GoPro, a waterproof GoPro, so she would, you know, get her face shoved down into the water and go, ah! And like at one point they were like, go ahead and scream before, and so she was like, ah! And like just face first into the GoPro. I can't wait to see how that looked, because they looked at it and Vinny cracked up.
It's a month in the future. We've seen how it looks. It
We've
looks
seen
amazing.
how it looks. It looks amazing.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Speeding. Everyone set? Ready? Action!
You went down, and that's when Jason started popping out of the water, right? And completing the sickle to the back movement. This is also where Nora got to shine, because she got to put the sickle in the back of the dude.
No, I would recommend going into like a
Okay. Okay. Alright, take your shit off, brah.
It might just be overkill. Yeah, like 60 for a reaction's good. PG to art. I like that.
Pull that off for 1 second. Double up here, bullet here. Makeup wipes. Takes blood out of clothes.
It's going down the
Oh, that's some BTS
okay,
right there.
hop on in. Oh. Get in there!
Alright, so let's talk about what we're about to do.
Would you scratch this for me real quick?
It's a little beyond me.
Come on.
It's really cool because, you know, she not only did that, but she rigged up the sickle through the throat later on, which they had about 2 good shots before the silicone appliance started to come away, and it didn't look right.
I'm a MacGyver and shit.
It was on the beach.
Okay.
Homegrown.
Just use it as a Neo.
Homegrown
Perfect,
forest
that's
foam.
a great kneeling pad.
Killed it right from the...
Can we get him in position?
Yeah, can you just lay into position?
Like that?
I just want to see what we're looking at here.
Got the shirt cover, yeah. Let me see this real quick. Okay, yeah. Right.
Oh my
there.
god, that's great.
But I need it to like, need him to like, this has to land here. If we could almost do like once he lands, if I need to adjust, because like if we keep it, like if he falls, that's gonna happen. But if I can like place him, well then it flops over and you can kind of, I don't know how that looks, but.
It looks okay.
Okay, but it would look better like this, right?
Ready, and action. Oh
shit, my bad. Dude, are you okay?
That was good, yeah.
That looked awesome in frame, though. That looked pretty fucking good.
About to lose light.
And action.
The last time he dropped down and she sprayed the blood through, it sprayed so far that it sprayed the camera.
Yeah.
And the reflector thing that they were using to bounce light, like all of it got sprayed with blood.
Oh.
It was so cool to see how everything went, and then you know, how they shot everything, and they basically had a tiny little dinghy out there for Renee when he was shooting with the red camera. He took his red out into the water and was holding it 6 inches above the water at times, and like just relying on people holding his back so he wouldn't lose his footing and drop the red into the water, and just would put it into the little dinghy right next to him, which the dinghy was a genius idea. It really was.
Keep saying dinghy. I'm enjoying it.
That's what it is. It's a little tiny dinghy. It's a little inflatable raft. Quit playing with your dinghy. Come on, Tommy boy. Nonetheless, they had this little tiny raft that they would use, like, to just put the camera in, you know, in case he lost footing or in case they needed to change the battery.
To keep you up, and they were dealing with all these really sharp rocks.
And then the boats, as they would go in the background, they would cause wake. So, they, you know, you'd have to be careful about that.
Yep. Everything's framed up right.
Are you wide open, Renee?
Yeah. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, getting into position. I'll count myself in. All right, here we go. Set. And 3, 2, 1. Everybody's ready?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna get into position and I'll count myself in. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
The sacrifices you make to make a really cool little film, and they did such a great job. And then it closed off with the decision to make the Jason carrying the body shot take place, move locations instead of having to move the whole crew back over to the camp location. They just decided to shoot him taking the body from that location, and as they did, the sun was getting lower and lower, so he was very well silhouetted and backlit.
Speeding, action. Action.
Gorgeous light.
Mm-hmm.
And and carrying the body up the hill a little bit away from the lake.
And then not only that, but he was still holding the sickle. And as they did, they decided, because there was a bunch of like waist high reeds all along the shoreline.
Well,
so
wild wheat.
Wild wheat, right. And so they decided to do the gladiator shot with the sickle going through the wheat as dripping blood. It was so cool, man. It was so much fun, and I'm so glad that we were able to still help through the whole day today, rather than having to go take care of a tire and stuff, which we were gonna do. Luckily, the Discount Tire was closed, and so we were able to go right to help the set. Yeah. If Discount Tire had been open, we would have missed out on the first 2 hours.
It made me feel old, though. Fuck.
Yeah.
Getting old.
I know. I need to get back into shape big time. Getting up that hill was really hard for me.
That hill was like...
That hill was tough.
That hill was a serious thing.
Well, but we were coming up with like 20-pound sandbags in each hand.
35 pounds each.
Okay, guys. What's up? It's another long day of filming, but we got a lot of water stuff, as you saw, and a lot of really cool stuff, so it's definitely been fun.
Yeah.
Do we want to close this out here, or wait till we get all the way
No,
home?
we can wait till because we still got a little bit more shooting.
Yeah, we do still have a little more shooting to do.
But this hill
This hill was not fun.
No, this was a much. This hill doesn't look that bad from where we are, but it's
equipment.
It's a good 100 yards. It's a good football field.
Yeah,
I think it's a good football field, and then carrying giant sandbags back up it is not the most fun thing. So, there's another update.
What were some of the standouts for you?
Despite the struggles
today?
Of
typical
filmmaking,
right?
Like nothing that we faced was atypical.
Right.
This is all standard stuff when you're shooting in the middle of nowhere, you know. And I just gotta say that for most people, when you watch even a short film or a short music video of whatever, the amount of work that actually goes into it is incredible. And one of the things that I've always enjoyed with our specific YouTube brand, if you will, is that we really appreciate the effort and the passion that goes into projects that require this sort of thing, because you can't do it without that. And when you show that and when you have that, it makes it worth it, whether or not it's 1 million views or 10 million views or whatever. It doesn't matter, because the people who enjoy it for what it is.
Right.
And that's the main thing that I always enjoy and always look for when we're doing these projects. So, like when we were finishing up and we got to do the crew photo.
Crew photo, that was so awesome.
It was awesome.
I was so glad that we hung out and did the whole thing. I'm so glad we did.
I still thought we were shooting at night. Like,
tonight?
I was still
Really?
preparing to shoot till right now, like 12 or 5 a.m. I thought we were going back to the other location.
Holy crap.
Yeah. But in the future, a month ago, for you guys.
Yeah. Well, you know, that brings us pretty much to the end.
Yeah.
And it was just an all-around awesome experience. I'm so glad. And thank you for coming. Like, I told Dave, I was like, this is going on. Are you willing to come help? Because Dave needed to come and spend time and meet Renee and Vince again and stuff like that for reasons. And it's...
we can't tell you yet.
Yeah, we can't tell you
it's
yet.
It's like a mafia thing.
There's a really cool picture that we can flash for about 1 second that might allude to some stuff. So... there you go. Yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the Horror Show Vlog, which was more of a podcast slash vlog. It's a vlogcast.
Yes!
Yes!
Trademarked!
So, if you're listening to this on iTunes, go watch it on YouTube. You'll see all the behind-the-scenes footage. If you're watching this and you want to
just listen to it
for some weird reason, then you can do that too on iTunes. But thank you again to Vince DiSanti for bringing us out for this. Thank you to Renee Rivas for allowing us to assist as well. Thank you to Ben. Thank you to Kyle.
Brian.
Thank you to Brian, especially Brian. I really dig on that dude's vibe, man. He was so cool. Such a positive influence on the set. Thank you to all of the actors. Thank you to Nora Hewitt, of course, Season 9 winner of Face Off and Never Hike Alone music video makeup effects person.
That link is in the description below.
Exactly.
Right? So you can watch that music video, also the short film, as well as the... what was the other thing? Oh, we can't tell you yet.
We can't tell you the other thing yet. What are you doing? How dare you?
We got secrets.
But thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, click that like button and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this going forward in the future. Thank you again to Dave. Thank you again to Vince and Renee. And thank you to Nora. And you guys.
Thank you for watching.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
I've been Producer Dave.
And remember, stay scared. Beauty.